Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we're gonna start with images. One image and two videos that I'm sure most of you will feel it in your heart when you're looking at it. But before we do that, I want to give you a brief summary of the topics I will be covering today, some of which are Greek islands. Will they become a wartime heaven for Israelis? It looks like Israel wants to purchase, I believe, some Greek islands for its citizens because they need some refuge from the wartime situation. We will definitely look into Netanyahu's files. Some of you probably saw the video Tucker Carlson posted yesterday with the person who I believe is the director of the documentary. That topic has been circulating for quite some time already, I think a few years now, if I'm not mistaken, but at least 2 years ago I came across those files. But we're going to look into it. What are those files? It's about Netanyahu's corruption, enormous corruption. But, you know, Trump insists that he should be pardoned in Israel, so it doesn't matter. Also, as far as Trump goes, you know, his signature on the $100 bill, which is something. And I came across, guys, something absolutely fascinating. That is an interview with a doctor who is talking about, well, stay all the way to the end and you're going to hear what he's talking about, what kind of experiments they were doing, and what this situation as we are living in, his opinion, is really focused on. What is the main goal? So let's go to those images first. I will start with this one, which I came across a few days ago. As you can see, here are the babies. Babies who lost their parents during the Vietnam War being airlifted back to the United States for adoption. This picture, allegedly, is from 1975. So look at the comments already. For adoption or trafficking? Another one. Sounds suspicious now. Another one. So trafficking started since the 70s. Why wouldn't their immediate family members be notified before adoption? So we know what's going on. Now, let me mute myself because I think the music is important in this video. I want to play this video. You're gonna see a child, and this is in Gaza. So I want to pause here for a moment and all of us to stop for a second, whatever you're doing, and just feel this moment. Feel this moment as if you were this child, carrying very heavy containers with, I assume, water, stopping once in a while, looking around if he is not, I believe it's a boy, maybe it's a girl, the next target for some snipers or whoever is there to kill him just because he is in the open area and because he is a potential future terrorist, as they say. Imagine being this child. Imagine walking with this water maybe not even to a family, but to some people that are the only family that you have, having hardly any roof over your head, not knowing when the food will arrive, and living in this reality. I think it's such a profound image that we really have to stop and think about our lives. And I speak for myself as well when we have moments when we are down or we are complaining. Look at this. Look at this child. Now, I want to show you as far as his surrounding, his environment. Here is the video. Again, if we complain about infrastructure of the cities where we live in, just want to mute this. Drone footage show destruction of Gaza after 500 days of war. This is what is left. We're gonna look into it because, this is what is left. So I'm sure Hamas, by the way, sponsored by Netanyahu as well, was hiding in every window, in every garage, in every hospital, in every school, in every tunnel, in every chimney or whatever. Hamas was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Look, Hamas was the entire population of Gaza. So that's what they did. That's what they did. How many children die? How many people die? I don't even care anymore about those statistics. Look at this, guys. We are talking 2025, 2026, 2024, actually, right? But we are talking 21st century. So demons run the show. This is how evil operates. Pure evil. So now I would like to take you to this topic. Bibi's corruption, okay? If you haven't watched Tucker Carlson video yesterday, watch it. There was another one that Ian, I think you say Ian or Ian Carroll did on Candace Owens, I think over a year ago now. You can find it there, and I think on Rumble as well. And he went into depth actually, Ian or Ian, sorry if I mispronounce, into the corruption of Netanyahu, enormous corruption. And he was pointing out that in the history of Israel, actually, 3 officials who were holding really high positions, I think one was even the president or the prime minister, they were actually paying the consequences. They were under trial and they had to go to jail for the corruption in Israel. They actually went to jail. But the Netanyahu case is different. What you're going to see in this video here, actually several videos I'm going to play for you from this post. When you see the woman in this video, this is Miriam Adelson. So the woman who gave the most money to Trump's campaign, the latest one, and I think the first as well, but definitely the latest one in 2024. And she also announced in the White House not long time ago that if Trump runs for the 3rd time, which I believe he doesn't need to run, he's going to do other things. But if he does run, I think he will absolutely have the 3rd term, unless they want to remove him before because he served his purpose. She will donate even more, but this is the condition. So you're going to see her, you're going to see a man on the wheelchair that was her husband, Sheldon, I think what's his name, Adelson. So casino owner in Vegas, Zionist on steroids, like big time. You're going to see them during the investigations briefly. You're also going to see Netanyahu and hear the process of investigation. Now, this is just few very short clip from the documentary. The full documentary you can watch when you go on Tucker Carlson network on his website. So let me take you here. Some of those conversations have already been translated, I believe, by AI, so you hear it in English.
No, is there a limit?
Oh, no, if there is, there's no limit. Yes. I hope that everything is working. All right, with your permission, Mr. Prime Minister, according to the rules, I inform you that you are being investigated, a criminal investigation. You are not required to say anything, but anything you do say is being recorded and may be used as evidence against you in court.
Nothing concentrates the mind like the prospect of being hanged. When it comes to Netanyahu, absolutely nothing concentrates his mind more effectively than the haunting sound of the heavy prison gate being slammed shut behind his back.
No, is there in our lives? With the bizarre questions you're asking me here, yes. When you try to dig down into the my ashtray and my lighter, this thing which is insane in the context of global arrangements, and here they're trying to incriminate a prime minister over nonsense.
So absolutely everything that he has meticulously done over the course of these last 5 years was so intensely focused on that haunting sound of the heavy gate potentially being slammed shut right behind his back.
In our lives.
Some of the witnesses were interrogated twice, 3 times, even 4 times. You have a rare opportunity to see the most powerful people in Israel in interrogation rooms facing questions that have never been asked before. What did you give? What did you get? How many times did you meet him? And you see people at the most stressful moment of their lives.
I can't speak Swahili, but I can hear you. Why do you always ask me? I'm asking you right now. All of the friends I have just don't seem to listen. So, if you actually have a friend, then you know for sure that you have a friend. Well, I really have to go and ask him myself. He's gonna kill me. Give me a Cohiba Bannigan. That's what he has for me. $1,100 for a box of 10. Wow. What are you talking about? But I don't have anything. I don't have anything. Exactly. That's my question. There's something. We're checking the broker. There was some kind of activity that deals with what? That deals with, let's call it, value-added gifts, which you're not even talking about. Something else from who to who. Without saying what the gifts are, and we'll talk about the periods.
Some of the witnesses were interrogated twice, 3 times, even 4 times.
Millions of pounds to Sarah and Bibi. Netanyahu, he always surrounds himself almost everywhere in the world with someone like a sugar daddy. Anything you need that the state doesn't provide, he'll take care of it for you. But when those people have interest in Israel, business interests or other kinds of interests, then it becomes very, very problematic. Who are your family members? In the last decade, businessmen, owners of homes. If I got a good answer, I got things from close friends like cigarettes, things like that, but only from close friends. That's not a good answer as far as I understand. That's what I was told over the years by Yahtzee. Let's see who this is. Who are my close friends? Who do you define as close friends? I have some incredibly close and dear friends, whom I have known for a great many years now. There are actually quite a few people in my life just like that. What is your question? Millions of pounds to Sarah and Bibi.
So like I said, you can watch the full documentary on Tucker Carlson's channel. What I think about it, I think that's obvious, don't you think? I know that a lot of people will be probably reasoning his attacks on Iran or Lebanon or escalating the conflicts and being a warmonger. They will be explaining that because of his absolute fear of not being investigated more and being, under the judgment, so remaining in power. I understand that point of view, but I also know that besides this aspect, there is an aspect of the pressure on him from Chabad Lubavitch to continue with things from their twisted satanic vision perspective for the greater New Israel. So there are 2, maybe more than 2 reasonings, right, for it, which do I find him religious? Absolutely not. But I also know that the influence of the sect that has, surrounded themselves just behind so many world leaders. We should even not say leaders because they are leading to disaster. So they are not leaders, those in the high positions. And, even saying leaders is like taking away the true meaning of a leader, right? So those presidents or prime minister, all those puppets, they are behind them because they are the handlers. So he has the pressure from them, but on the other side, he also has probably pressure from his wife, more, and he has pressure to continue the war project because that keeps him safe as well. So there are many reasons for it. Since we talk about money, everyone, if you haven't heard this news, so here we go. Trump situation, because he likes it like that. Oh my God, I had such a different opinion about Trump, but I'm glad I woke up. Where do I have this? Let me find it. Here we go. I'm sure you heard of this already, that the Treasury Department has announced that it will add President Trump's signature, you see right here, to paper currency to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the United States, making the first time a sitting president's signature that will appear on currency. Now, what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, he said this: "There is no more powerful way to recognize the historic achievements of our great country and President Donald J. Trump than US dollar bills bearing his name, and it is only appropriate that this historic currency be issued at the semi-quincentennial, so 250th anniversary. You know what? The dollar is sinking and he really wants his signature to be on it. I don't think it's a good karma, actually. I really don't. I mean, this is like the least as far as karma goes, because there are other more horrific things that is karma as well. Now, I want to now show you a video from Cambodia. Like I was bringing Thailand to your attention, that a lot of businesses in Thailand, in some regions of Thailand, are refusing to give service to Israeli customers, tourists, because they came across the certain attitude, which we know, again, not everyone, absolutely not, but the frequency of it was pretty much repetitive. So they were acting the same way. And also, because they were taking over some regions and creating the little Israel there as well, and not allowing the locals to enter it, which is crazy. But here is a video from Cambodia, from some store. And when I play this for you, because I will play with the conversation, so you're going to hear what they are saying. Israeli customer who walks in. This lady, this woman, young woman, has an image of Jeffrey Epstein. Next to it, you can see a message, a statement. No Israeli clients, I believe. That's what it is. So let's take a look. This is from Cambodia.
I'll pay you with the Qing Dynasty coin. No Israel, huh? You don't like Israel? So I can't shop here? Huh? No Israel? Not good. I'll pay you with the Qing Dynasty coin. No Israel, huh?
Well, oh well. But don't we worry, because Greece might welcome them with no problems. So let's read this news that the Greek islands might become a wartime haven for Israelis. Ay, ay, ay. So I have some Greek viewers. Let's read this. I have two articles, guys. So this is number one. As Iran launches waves of ballistic missiles at Israel following unprovoked, you see fake news? Fake news? But let's read this. unprovoked US-Israeli strikes, unprovoked. Because, I mean, they started it, right? That began on February 28th, an old and once dismissed idea is back in the spotlight. So the first part of the sentence, like, delete, but let's start with this, that the once dismissed idea is back in the spotlight. Avri Steiner, then member of the Blue and White Party led by Benny Gantz, has proposed purchasing 40 uninhabited Greek islands to serve as a wartime refuge for Israelis. My Greek viewers, please tell me, I didn't research how many islands Greece has. I believe a lot. Described the plan as an iron dome for the Jewish people, Haaretz reported. First introduced in 2022 as a contingency plan for evacuation during war of disaster, the idea was widely dismissed by Israeli media at the time as surreal. Since Israel's war on Palestine's Gaza began on October 7th, 2023, roughly 100,000 Israelis have left the country. Much more than that, guys, okay? I think around a million, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be wrong. Definitely more than 100,000, marking a sharp departure from years of relative migration stability. Recent research on immigration trends in Israel suggests that sudden political, economic, or security shocks can trigger a rapid surge in departures. We know that, don't we know that in Europe? How does that go? Here is another article, and it says the same. Israeli official pushes to buy Greek islands as a safe haven for Jewish people. A plan to acquire Greek islands for use as a potential evacuation zone for Israeli citizens has surfaced in Israeli political circles, revealing a new layer of complexity in Eastern Mediterranean geopolitics. So what do you think about it, guys? 40 Greek islands. So let's rewind the story. We have a promised land in Argentina, Patagonia, that was burning recently. We have Chile. We have Kenya recently. Now we have, I forgot the most important project in Ukraine, right? Kazaria 2.0. Yes, Ukraine, absolutely Ukraine. And we have 40 islands, 40 Greek islands now to add to this picture. So here is an interview with a doctor I never came across, but I'm going to show you in a second, who is incredibly knowledgeable, and he was working in the circles that are now very much on the first pages as far as Epstein situation goes. He knows about the science, very much so. And he is, I'm just going to play a short part of this interview because you should watch the entire thing, in my opinion, to really have an understanding and learn, like I did watching that, how much has been going on as far as the science goes. And what is really the purpose? Because Epstein is like old news at this moment, right? I mean, no justice, no one gives a bleep. People are waking up, but this is not just about abusing children, sacrificing them, organ harvesting. This is about other things that are very important. And I told you this before, that I believe in his ranch in New Mexico. The things that were taking place there on the scientific level has been really, really crazy. And that, in my opinion, could be even involving the not the humanoids, but cloning, doing some crazy stuff, as well as producing the children, so impregnating women there who were in captivity. Then they were giving birth to children, and then they were doing things as far as research go or sacrifice go. So this doctor is going to talk about Human Genome Project. And of course, DARPA is involved in it as well. But he will highlight something that a lot of people maybe skip or miss in this big picture right now. So let me mute myself. I take you to this interview. And of course, I will attach the entire video down below in the description box.
Minutes of Tai Chi every morning, all the way for work. God.
Audience understands how the tentacles all fit together and why you're getting wrapped in it. The goal has always been to have the control grid up in the United States. So they were very successful in what they're doing. The reason why Epstein was taken out in 19, because he was now considered a useless idiot, is because now Peter Thiel, Karp, and Palantir have replaced him. So what is the battle royale going on now? We're not going to use blackmail anymore. We're going to use surveillance technology to do the same thing. But remember, is the goal the same of control? The answer is absolutely. And once you understand that the game is control, you begin to understand that everything that you went through, like, for example, you said you're vaccine injured.
Yeah.
Easier to control somebody who's injured
Right.
and tied to the pharmaceutical industry for the rest of their life? The answer is yes. So that's effectively what they're interested in. And when you understand that fundamentally, their goal is, as you aptly put it, to go back to feudalism and medievalism. Why? Because back then the population was small. It was easy to control. They were able to do it back then with, centralized monarchies. Right now, the goal, probably in the next 50 years, that's the goal of Agenda 2030, is to shrink the population by any means necessary. And hopefully the public helps them, which they are through their compliance.
Yeah.
And then eventually they'll have maybe a population on Earth between 500 million and 1 billion people. And it's much easier to control a fiefdom that way than not. Now, of course, when you lay this story out for your audience and a guy like you, and you hear this, you go, this is absolutely, dastardly. It's almost hard to fathom that they have this much control. But when you understand, like, all the things that are coming out now, you can see where everything and every piece was controlled. The thing is, people are fired up about this whole Epstein thing. This is old news, guy. This is like 20, 25 years. Just so you know, everything that I've told you today has been sitting on my website for about 15 years. So I've told this story over and over again to many people. I don't think anybody really believed it until the dump came out. And then when the dump comes out, I'm like, you don't have to worry about the dump anymore. Let's not talk about the old news. Let's talk about the new kid on the block, which is the tech bros.
Just into
So this is just a small fraction of this interview. In the beginning of this interview, he is describing, and I'm not going to play it, you can watch it. He's describing the type of science that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in, and that was regarding Human Genome Project and DARPA involvement in it. He's talking about giving the names of the scientists that Epstein was collaborating with or blackmailing. Very informative interview, so I hope you check it out. But don't you think that is the goal? Control is the goal. So what we can do, everyone, I want to ask you this question, genuine question. Besides the aspect that many people like myself didn't take the injection, so I didn't comply with it, even though some people say, oh, I took it because I wanted to travel. I was traveling without it because they were You were able to travel without it. You were. You just had to read the small text at the end of the description, right? Like when you sign the contract, for example, when you sign the lease on the car or when you buy a car, the small text, the small words are the most important because the crucial information is actually there down below that no one reads. So you could avoid it, but what can we do? You know, what can we do? I think there will be stages with people to, like I said, there will be windows of choice. And we always have a choice. And I was thinking about this lately, you know, this planet is becoming, this realm is becoming with the knowledge that we have, right? Because if you don't know, you just don't know. And in a way, it's easier because you're ignorant, but then you are like this sheep that walks straight into the slaughter. So perhaps we should appreciate the courage that we have and our soul that has chosen this lifetime not to put up with this anymore, because perhaps this is the last time we are experiencing this for us. That's how I look at it. And you know, if the flesh is gone, flesh is just a vehicle. And what really matters is the spirit, is the soul that carries on. And every decision we make, and we get frustrated. Trust me, I get really frustrated. I don't like the energy of the people anymore. I think people became so, most people, not everyone, of course, but you find it very often. People are so not compassionate. They don't care. They almost don't value life at all. Let it be nature, animals, another human being. They don't value those things. All they value is themselves, money, possessions, significance. That's how I see it. Again, it's generalizing. I'm not saying everyone, but I have to tell you honestly, and it's not easy place to be. I am avoiding people because it's hard to put up with it. It's really hard to put up with it. And to find the soul tribe, so-called soul tribe, is not that easy. So you are my soul tribe, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me, watching my videos. I'm sure that many of you really understand. It resonates with you what I just said. If you appreciate the content, please hit thumbs up. It's free of charge and it helps with the algorithm. If you consider subscribing to my channel, I appreciate it. And if you choose to support my work, the best way is to donate on PayPal, become my Patreon or local supporter. By the way, tomorrow an exclusive video will be posted there on Patreon and locals. Or you can also purchase my books for children that are beautiful, meaningful, and with the high energy, written by me. And the stories are great, beautifully illustrated. And with this being said, guys, lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. I see you in another video. Bye, everyone.